Hello everyone, welcome back to the Racing Guru. If you thought that all was said about the spectacular season finale of last season, then you were up for a surprise. Christian Horner finally agreed that Michael Masi made a big mistake during the last race of last season, a mistake that was detrimental to Lewis Hamilton's title prolongation. Before I will go into this crucial mistake, please like and subscribe to the Racing Guru to make a chance to win the new Formula One racing game. As the 2022 season unfolds and more teams apart from Mercedes start to understand their car better and better, Christian Horner had to say one final thing about the season finale. The Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi 2021 was, if not is, the most historical race in the history of Formula One. What should have been an easy Lewis Hamilton victory and title prolongation, making him an 8-time world champion, became a disaster at the end. With just 5 more laps to go, Latifi, who was driving at the back of the field, decided to end his season with a banger. The crash led to a safety car, which gave new opportunities to Max Verstappen. Since Hamilton's lead wasn't large enough to make a free pit stop and end in front of Verstappen, he decided to stay out. Horner said a couple months ago that Hamilton staying out left us with an opportunity to come in a pit for new tires. This eventually became the championship-deciding move as we had one single lap to overtake Hamilton, who ran on old, hard tires. Max did an incredible job overtaking and leaving Hamilton behind, therefore securing his first world championship. However, it wasn't Verstappen's overtaking maneuver that kept the paddock talking. It was the race director, Michael Masi, that decided to let the cars between Hamilton and Verstappen pass the safety car to straightaway gave the signal that the safety car was ending. Where Hamilton and all of Mercedes thought that the race would end under the safety car, this surprising and spectacular decision gave Verstappen a chance, the only chance he needed. Soon, lawyers got involved, and lots of political and legal drama developed. Now, more than 6 months later, and with everybody looking ahead to a second world title for Verstappen, Horner finally opened up about what he admitted was Masi's mistake. Horner said, "Michael Masi was under a lot of pressure, no doubt. I was happy to not be in his shoes during that race, and I think he did a phenomenal job. However, I do think he made a mistake that if he didn't make it, would have cost us the world championship." Masi allowed the cars between Hamilton and Max to pass the safety car. However, I don't think it was fair to only let those cars overtake, as there were multiple lapped cars behind Verstappen that should have been given green light to overtake the safety car as well. These extra cars would have slowed down the whole process, making it inevitable to finish the race under a safety car. This would have led to a different conclusion of the title fight. It is surprising that Horner comes with this statement right before the Grand Prix of Silverstone. Everyone remembers what happened last year at Silverstone when Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen collided with each other. Up until today, fans and experts are divided in who is to blame. Who do you think is to blame? As the Grand Prix of Silverstone comes closer, you can sense that the tension is rising. Lots of teams bring large upgrade packages, and Red Bull wants revenge for what happened last year. Many journalists are happy to ask Horner questions about last year's encounter and the race director's decision that followed. Horner pointed out that he disagreed with Michael Masi's decision to give Hamilton a stop-and-go penalty last year and that he thinks the race director should have disqualified Hamilton or giving him a couple places grid penalty at the end of the race. However, Horner also responded to the accusations that after that incident, Masi was on the hand of Red Bull. Horner quickly responds to this by saying, "I disagree that Masi was on our hand. There were many moments after Silverstone where we thought we disproportionately were punished. Look at the yellow flag in Qatar or at the incident in Monza." Verstappen wasn't always agreeing to Masi's decisions, yet he did support him during the intense months following the season finale last year. Verstappen and Masi held contact, where allegedly Verstappen said a couple supportive words. Wolff, however, has never spoken with Masi since and is not likely to do so in the future. Toto Wolff has always been vocal in a way that he still thinks that Red Bull was given the championship. Funnily enough, Wolff and Mercedes pushed hard to get rid of Masi as the F1 race director, but they now face issues with the FIA again. First, Mercedes was against the racing decisions made. Now they are against the porpoising rules. It seems like Horner and Toto Wolff are each other's opposites as they both take in a different viewpoint. The race director position has always been an important and interesting topic. However, it is not only the racing director that decides whether to penalize a driver or team. A whole team of so-called stewards are involved in penalizing a driver or team. After last year's decisions in the final race of the year, the F1 opted to change a couple things to make it more clear to teams and drivers what can be expected under certain situations. Instead of one race director, there are now two sharing the load. Team bosses can't talk to the race directors anymore during a race, and stricter rules have been implemented to make clear of acceptable driving behavior and not. Besides having two permanent race directors, there is also a panel of changing stewards. These stewards have the task to review and make decisions based on the F1 regulations. They have access to hundreds of cameras. Since Formula One is a sport where emotions are involved, a racing driver is assigned to be one of the stewards as well, to offer the others input from the driver's perspective. What might seem wrong according to the cameras might in fact be needed to prevent worse from a driver's perspective. This assigned driver was first introduced in 2010 after many complaints formed about how the stewards handed out penalties. Another crucial task of the stewards is to act in consistency with previously given penalties. Once an accident happened, the stewards also look at past decisions in similar situations to come up with the right decision. This isn't always easy, as track layout and characteristics of the cars need to be taken into account as well. Coming back to the Grand Prix of Silverstone, many expect a great race, but also a heated race. Silverstone is a home race for many teams and therefore bring large upgrades. However, it is also a race where extra emphasis is put on the race director's decisions. Not many have forgotten about last year. With Ferrari needing to win this race and Mercedes drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell driving at their home Grand Prix, many can expect a great race coming with lots of risks involved. Last year, Verstappen had a massive lead over Hamilton, which almost completely disappeared after the race was over. Verstappen hasn't forgotten about this situation as he enters this weekend. However, he also somehow wants to get his revenge, just like he did in Azerbaijan a couple weeks ago. He not only has to fend off the Ferrari and Mercedes drivers, but also his teammate, who sees Silverstone as his last chance to get himself back into the world title fight. All these emotions and goals can lead to serious compromising incidents which have to be reviewed by the stewards. Their decision will have major impact in how this season unfolds. One thing is for sure, the last thing isn't said about the stewards.